we'll get started with the show. Should be pretty good. Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to yet another episode of Coaching the Many. This time we're going to be talking mostly about Zarya, but also about a couple of other things. We're going to be talking a lot about sort of the balance changes and stuff for Zarya, but that's mostly going to be in part 2. With all the Zarya focused stuff, mostly because on the attack he plays a certain group of heroes, he plays Tracer, Pharah, and then on the defense we get to see the Zarya sort of coming out swinging. And the coachee, which in this case is actually Zuby, long-time viewer, is going to be, well, he basically said in his email, if I bring that up, I go over here and find it. I played Tracer and Pharah on the first offense, but I want to focus on my Zarya gameplay more than anything. So, and then he goes on to explain that, he's worried about his ability to perform on offense on 2CP and stuff like that, so we can focus on that. And yeah, we could just keep coaching through it. I know that my Pharah needs tons of work, because I haven't played him forever, and noticed especially in that game that I get picked off a lot. When I play DPS currently, it's usually Tracer and Scrims because of dive. So yeah. So we'll nitpick our way through the first offensive, and then we'll see how it goes with the Zarya. Should be pretty good. Should be okay. Right, let's get the show on the road. Get it started.
Why? That's the best game.
It's actually also worth mentioning, like, as we get started. So the thing with 6-stacking, if you aren't aware of how 6-stacking works, oh bloody hell! Do I have stream labels up? I actually don't. That's a new sub as well. Oh god, that's a name. That is a name. Eliza El Rama, I'm guessing. That's unless it's Eli Zale Rama. Yeah, I don't think it's so. I think it's Eliza El Rama. I think. Welcome on board. Good timing. But yeah, so the thing with having a 6-stack is that if the game can't find a 6-stack for you to compete against, what it'll usually do is something like this, where I'll mash together like a 4-stack and a 2-stack is the usual, I find. And then their team will actually be about 200 rating higher than yours. In gold, platinum, so on, if you've got like a regular group of 6 people you play with, this probably isn't too big of a deal. If you're around like the median, so you aren't aware, this is what we call a normal distribution. This is an important concept to understand. Okay, this is a graph that represents the players in Overwatch, and then this is here, this is going to be 2.5. Okay, that's 2.5k rating, right here in the middle. I know this isn't the clearest in the world, but hopefully you get the idea. Most players are around 2.5k to 3k, or 2k to 3k. Like the bulk of the player base is around here, and then as you get further and further out, it starts getting fewer and fewer players. It's just how it breaks down, how people distribute outwards from the median. If you're playing around sort of in this area, 6-stacking is perfectly fine. I'd say if you're playing in this area, you'll find that when you 6-stack, you'll be probably pushed just more against people around 2k-ish. You'll find probably a lot of players. And then if you're playing in this area, what generally happens is you will have, say, like a 3.5k average team, and you'll be going up against 3.8, 3.9, 4k players. And that can really, really wreck you. As you start pushing out further and further towards the higher end, the difference in rating, the jump in skill as you go up 100 MMR is actually quite high. So when you start pushing towards these higher reaches, this is when 6-stacking, I say, becomes a no-no. And honestly, anything higher than like a 2-stack is honestly going to be bad for you if you're focusing on climbing. If you're not focusing on climbing, that doesn't matter too much.
Welcome to Overwatch,
hey, Poppy Thing as well. But worth mentioning that I might be placed 3.5k and decay to 3k. Okay. So there might be decay factoring into this a little bit as well.
Even see him tweet a lot.
We've got some nice flickering, got some nice Tracer. Team gets set up. Let's have a look at the team lineup. Looks like it's going for classic dive. Nothing too untoward here. This is pretty standard dive. Also, thank you, Papa Thingy, for the beautiful 2 months. I think I briefly acknowledged it, but I want to really shout it out properly. Let's see. So yeah, this is a standard could be on dive. I actually really like the inclusion of D.Va on the offensive, just because you can scoop up a lot of damage as you're trying to push in. It works quite nicely.
Guys, that's good.
If your D.Va is competent, then you shouldn't have too many issues.
I can move.
Alright, let's skip forward. And let's get started on the attack. So let's talk about like our objectives on the Tracer just to begin with. So our first goal is to try and get through, and if they're playing something heavy on the choke, like the first things that we should be doing is looking for what are they playing. What is going to be locking down the choke? At the moment we've got an Orisa and a Reinhardt, and honestly with Tracer, one thing I kind of enjoy doing on this map is not following the main pack, but just splitting off that little bit earlier and literally going through this way. The reason why is because most of the team will push up here, and if you think about when you're defending on Hanamura, most of your spam will go towards this side of the flank, right? Like most people just spam down this way. If you go this way, you can generally actually see quite deep into what the enemy team's doing. You can generally get a quick glance at sort of what they're running, what's in the choke point, what's going to slow you down. And if you do go to this side as well, you have an advantage where you can very quickly bounce to this higher ground. And then you can actually use the blink route to go over the top. The danger of using this blink route, where you blink through the window, is that it does put you through a very narrow choke point. So you're probably going to have to use 2 blinks just to get through, and then you're going to have to just run into like the large health pack room, for example, and run through that way. So you do want to be a little bit careful going that way, but it's all available. You're generally going to use about 2 blinks anyway, just to try and push through. But the big thing we're seeing here is, okay, they've got a Mercy, they've got an Orisa, they've got a Reinhardt. Like, these are my instincts instantly in seeing this, because you can see the health thing there. We need to just get through this. Okay, they've got a Symmetra. We're going to have to use 2 blinks probably to get past where the turrets are. Luckily, the turrets weren't set up in the choke, so we can actually get away with doing this. So you notice the Symmetra callout comes out a little bit late. The Symmetra callout could have come out that little bit earlier of, hey, they've got a Symmetra, we need to be aware of that. And the reason why I see it is quite simple. Look here, and hey, look, Symmetra. She's the thing in this game. I'd recommend being careful if they have a Symmetra of taking this pathway. And the reason why is Symmetras on Hanamura like to put turrets here, here, and here. There's usually like 3 around here, and then there's usually like 3 around the gate. Looks like this Symmetra is struggling to set up properly, which is, you know, good for us so we can get in here. We just have to worry about the Orisa spam, which doesn't really worry us too much. I don't like the choice to blink out this way though. The reason being is we want to be sort of a threat in the back of the mind, but honestly, we're not looking to do much like actual heavy fighting right now unless the dive is actually going in which case we should be still bouncing around in the courtyard. When you blink this way, to me, the choice is then you go up here, and then you can get to the high ground where you can be safe, you can plan, and then you can just sort of pick and choose your targets. Unfortunately, we blink this way, we get caught by the Symmetra. May blocks us off. Let's just back out. Let's back out. Feels bad, man. So, yeah. Not 100% on the decisions made here. To me, like, the way I break this down on 2CP is objective 1 for me as Tracer will be to get through their front line. Like, try and get into a position where you can reliably use all 3 of your blinks. And you can use all 3 of your blinks in an actual fight and still actually manage to fight. Looks like the team manages to push through anyway because Orisa is kind of garbage. And I don't think the Symmetra is set up at all. And their team has no damage. Like, their team lineup honestly is not intimidating. I think the highest source of damage on the team is Orisa if she lands all the shots. Let's have a look at the team lineups. They have a soldier. They have... okay. Relatively durable team. I'm gonna point out, whoever's calling out the DPS targets needs to just call them and stick on them. It should honestly be the Zenyatta calling the targets. Just put Discord, kill whatever's discorded. Easiest thing in the world. Even on lowest volume setting, these guys are very loud in my ears. Miranda has to be a bit careful. So this feels like a sort of a split call. Where people don't know if they're coming or going. It actually looks alright for the team at first, but I think part of the problem is like the focus. I mean, you get 2 picks on both their tanks. This is the point where you can just afford to take it a little bit slowly. You don't have to like super zerg. Planok lands and just explodes. And then Symmetra just kills everyone. So this to me is just like trying to force it too much. You've got an advantage. 2 of their tanks are dead. You can just take your time, take it slow, and then just ease forward, basically. There's no need to just start sprinting in. You can slow down, heal up a little bit. Their tanks have to come... like, if you take control of this courtyard area on Hanamura, here, if you take control of this space, where, like, your entire team is, if their two tanks come back in, like, what the fuck are they going to do? Their two tanks badly out of position. They have to sort of come in through this back route, even then you have line of sight on it. You can afford to just slow down, heal up, and then just push in steadily. Without rushing it, without losing your Winston, for example. You've got to keep in mind as well, if you're running Zenyatta Lucio, that burst healing is not enormous, so healing in general is just going to come in slowly.
Might want to Pharah against that. Do you want to play Pharah then, or should I?
So this is where the decision comes out to swap Pharah into this. I think Trace is okay against their team lineup, to be honest. I think with Tracer you could just build up an infinite number of pulse bombs against this team. So this is where it's worth mentioning that the player himself admits that his Pharah is rusty as hell. Pharah is one of those heroes that if you don't play it regularly, you will struggle. I'd say luckily right now the tank is doing a good job of just absorbing line of sight, but is going to pay for that eventually. Do we have any awareness on where Soldier is? There's Soldier. We want to be very careful about doing maneuvers like this just in general as Pharah. You want to be very aware of where the Soldier 76 is. Because if you think about what we're doing here, like the example I always give is, you know, just pretend you're stood on the ground. Would you ever be stood like this kind of distance away from cover? You know, where's the nearest safety here? How long is it going to take you to get somewhere safe? In this case, it's going to take a good like 2 or 3 seconds. That's usually enough time for a Soldier 76 to kill you. So that little sort of awareness is very, very important as Pharah. I'd say if you're going to go up here, you can probably try and just establish yourself on this high ground, like this balcony. And then you just take control of the courtyard, kill the Mercy off in your own free time. If Soldier wants to get on you, he has to push all the way out to come deal with you. Or you can stand on top of the pagoda and again just use that high ground instead of just floating around in the middle of the sky. Fortunately, Mercy is just bouncing left and right. Team's getting isolated, split up, killed. We should be trying to back out now. We should absolutely be just getting out.
Try to get the focus to Metro.
Just hang out up here. We're nice and safe. Take it slow. Take it slow. We can relax. Don't need. Why are we engaging this? Why are we doing this? Why? Why would you do this? So your priority is if you're up here in this situation, like their team lineup is. Well, let me shorten this to make it nice and short and sweet. Their team lineup has nothing with vertical movement, nothing with strong vertical movement. They have Mei to maybe get up here, but that's not a big deal. Our priority right now is to survive. Survive. We need, like, we need to just live, because if we don't, we're staggering deaths. Like, the opportunity for us to just get out safely and easily is gone. And honestly, I'd say our best opportunity to get anything done was here. Your best bet was to try and put a concussive blast about here and try and launch these guys off. Once that option is out the window, and by the way, oh, hello. That's a hell of a name. Is that Mr. Abeliffy? Mr. Abeliffy? That's what I'm going to go with. Mr. Abeliffy 72. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you on board, my friend. Get some scrub hype going for the new scrub. It was good, man. Yeah, like we get some good shots in, but there's just no way that this is ever going to work. And when you see that, oh, there's 3 of them here, and Soldiers put down a heal field, this fight is done. We're done here. The best thing we can try and do is to try and get to our Zenyatta so he can put an orb on us. We're occupying the enemy team's, like, we got the main tank over here, we got the Soldier over here, we got the Symmetra over here. This is fucking great. Like, the rest of the team should just be able to push in. The last thing we need to do, though, is reward what they're doing right now, which is by giving them a kill. Because now, our team's going to struggle pushing in. And suddenly, the window of opportunity that these guys had is no more. Their team's just going to reposition again, they're going to be ready to fight, and if your team pushes in, it's a 5 versus 6. Feels bad, man. Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Okay.
Apparently, I think their Reinhardt just hammered down. Okay. And got 1 person. So again, be very aware of where the Soldier is. Soldier's back by the point. Kill this. This is the stupidest bongo I've ever seen. Keep your eye out for where that Mercy is. There's the res. Good job focusing on the Mei. This is correct. Because Mei won't be able to kill people. We do want to keep that Mei in mind, though. We didn't keep the Mei in mind. We sort of went to peel for one of our, I'm imagining that's a support, probably the Zenyatta if I had to guess. Honestly, this is more the Zenyatta's fault. Let me just see if that is the Zen. Might be No, it's the D.Va. Okay, it's D.Va. In which case, I'd just say sod it. Like, the problem with this is that we're just giving Mei space now, and the reason why going on the Mei is good was just because we act as peel. Like, there's no way that Mei... Like, she has to get over to where the Zenyatta is, or... No, that's not even a defensive Zenyatta, sorry, I'm going crazy. There's no way she can kill anyone with us shooting at her. Like, she will die before she ever gets that kill, so we force her into the ice block, land a couple of shots, but we just need to be very aware of the fact that she's still there and she's still a threat. I'd say that, you know, the... Orisa cutting people off, like cutting off the D.Va back here, is a minor issue because the Orisa's never really going to be able to kill that D.Va. But the Mei is absolutely going to be a factor on the point. But the team should still be fine, yeah. They used a lot of ults, didn't get much value off it.
I'm blocking.
Yeah, Symmetra was on me, Symmetra's right side.
These are concise, clean, crisp calls. Oh, juicy.
Get Symmetra, she's one. Nice. Get Mei. Nice one. Nice dead.
Good job. Again, be very careful about this kind of positioning.
Just walking back.
Messi shouldn't have rest.
Get Reinhardt.
Good isolation. Reinhardt's charging off. You should still be able to pick him off here.
They have a Rotok now.
Nice. Good staggering. Your team should push in hard off the back of this. They still don't have a D.Va. We should be looking to get some value off this barrage. We have to be very careful, though. We're going to die to this McCree.
They have a McCree now as well. I'm low.
Push.
Oh my god. Oh! I called it and I thought I was going to get that wrong.
Okay, we can push up.
If that McCree did not kill you, I'd have been furious.
Got Reinhardt.
Nice.
I would have been absolutely furious. So the mistake here was that if we got to be very, again, with Pharah cognizant of sightlines, be very aware of the two sightlines available out here and the one over here. It's the world's sad, like, Bible thump. There we go. Bible thump. The Bible thump that is Hanamura, be very, very aware of sort of this. And then the second you rocket up and you see this, like, I know it's grainy, but this is a cowboy. We cannot fight in this area anymore. Unless we are diving specifically on the McCree, we can't fight here. And because we're focusing on the Mercy, this is definitely a no-no. We have to try and get out of line of sight, whether it's dropping down to this way, or just getting back behind the little hut in the middle, the gazebo. The second that this guy's here, though, this denies all that airspace.
How long is this fucking beam?
Still a McCree in the...
Just to answer the question asked in the team chat there, how long is this fucking beam? It's 10 meters.
In the middle, high ground.
Also, good job, chat. The Bible thumps.
Let's try to get a kill.
We're capping.
Okay, nice.
Stay on it, we can get another. Okay.
Just fight for another loss.
I'd say at this point, my advice would be, like, don't overcommit to anything. Just don't use ultimates. That's a lost... Like, this is a wasting fight where you're just trying to now get rid of as much as you can on their team. The reason why I say that is because, like, you know, let's talk about what you do while dead. When you're dead, you try and watch what your team is doing. You complain about Symmetra's range. No, you watch what the team is doing as best you can. You try and get a feel for what the fight's going to be like. Can you get back there? Can you make a big difference? And the biggest thing is just to keep your eye on the kill feed. So we're down to support, we're down these guys, and also like running out spawn and press tab. Okay, we still have a Lucio, there's still Vanillora on the point with a Dragon Blade, but their resurrections or their revives or whatever, their respawns are going to start coming in soon. So this fight is probably not going to be a win. Like, okay, now we're down all our supports. This is going to be difficult. There's no way that this is clean enough to win the fight. So what we can try and do is get as much as we can. They put down a shield generator. We can try and get that. Like I'd say, honestly, that would be worth it. So if I was Vanillor, for example, I would be just diving, looking for where that shield gen is. Try and get rid of that before the start of the next fight. That would be huge. It looks like he's managed to find it, but didn't manage to get the kill on it. Yeah, shield gen is one. Fuck.
Yeah, in the left corner.
I can just bomb there. Wait for
Okay, yeah, perfect.
D.Va's holding on to the bomb just to get rid of the shield generator. Was paying attention on yesterday's lesson, clearly. Correct move. I'm fine with us doing a little bit of spam here. This should be a free Symmetra kill. Cowardice! Cowardice! You have to land 2 rockets. Well, actually, no, you have to land 3. because she's got a shield generator. She might just be getting out of range of it here. She has to hit you for 3 seconds. Can you kill her in 3 seconds? Yes, you can. Oh, this is the face of regret. This is winnable for you. Like, you land the first direct hit, and that to me is just like, okay, let's just finish this bitch off. I thought you just go up, trying to back away. You either get in close and just make it so, like, Pharah's self-splash, Pharah's self-harm isn't that high, actually. She does hurt herself, but it's not enormous. So you can actually afford to be a little bit risky with that. And then just, oh man, the face of regret.
Yeah, I'm just gonna trans here.
Too high. We managed to get it regardless. We really luck out on that. Bad time for a reload, unfortunate. Nice. There, Reinhardt fucked up so badly. What the hell happened there? Was Roadhog nerfed so much that, like, when he hooks people, the damage of them hitting him? I'm guessing he didn't have a shot, and, like, she just shot him? I'm guessing he was out of ammo? Also, I want to point out that their Reinhardt fucks up. Like, I want to point out what I mean when I say that Reinhardt fucked up.
Let's get the shield in.
Activating self-destruct. Reinhardt, in position.
Okay,
If you block for the shield gen, could have done so much there. He was lower. I'm aware he was low already. I was expecting him to shoot and kill the D.Va. Instead, it just looked like he hooked her and just fell over dead, which is normally not what happens. It's usually the other way around. Their team gets a big res off though. And on Hannibal has already shot spawn distances. This kind of feels bad, man. Let's talk about this barrage just to cover it very briefly. Like, again, this isn't specifically a Pharah coaching the menu, so we'll try and get through this relatively fast. This is way too high up. With barrage, you want to be as close as you can be to the targets. We can also probably just afford to drop a rocket or two onto this Mercy, and then if she does dash, then we can just barrage onto the point. Regardless, like this, the Mercy should have just dashed away and tried to Guardian Angel out, and if she did, she might have survived it, to be honest. The thing with the way barrage works is, as you can see, there's like quite a bit of spread to it. So think of it like a square for rockets. 40 damage max for one rocket for Pharah self damage. There you go. That's a statistic I didn't actually know. Did not know. So close on this Roadhog. If anyone else was, what are these guys doing over here? This is insane. Vandalore. Oh no, he landed the shot. He did land the hit. Okay, he just didn't manage to confirm the kill because D.Va's tiny. So she's actually a bit of a bitch to confirm kills on, especially post nerf, which I believe this is. So D.Va will survive that. Which is why people should help their Roadhog. Once a hook lands, confirm that kill. Trying not to get frozen by the ult that was thrown at me. Vanillor, as far as excuses go. You could see where this is. You could have gone this way. You could have gone up. You could have gone this way. Like, there's a transcendence over here, for pity's sake, man. We could have helped kill that Roadhog.
Don't have defensive ults. They have high noon, right? Did they use it? They used
everything.
They use everything? That's...
Yes, they did.
So I like this. I really like this in the comms. This is what I call like bookkeeping or stock checking. So this is what you do after a team fight. You try and take into account like what they used, what you might have available, what they might have available. So for the next fight, you know what to kind of expect. So the team's just going to run through what they used or what was used, and then try and sort of remember. Okay, this happened. This happened. This happened. This happened.
Defensive ults. They have high noon, right? Did they use high noon?
They used everything.
Did they use Rotak?
Yes, they did use Rotok.
Okay, then I can blade for free.
Alright.
Okay. That was good. So now we have a plan, right? We have a plan for the next team fight, which is what I really like. Because the plan that we need, like, what you want on any push is what is our victory condition? Well, our victory condition for this one's relatively simple, which is that we're going to just Dragon Blade and try and get as many kills off the back of the Dragon Blade as possible. But we know that they don't have any counters for it. They don't have Resurrect. They don't have Whole Hog. They don't have Blizzard. Vanilla can kind of do what he wants. And importantly, they don't have a shield generator as well, which, you know, shield generator really screws up how Dragon Blade works. Whoa, be very careful about those barriers.
Just go in main. I will blade up top if they are top.
Yeah. They're at least Mercy is top right.
Just go in main.
Yeah, okay, go. Speed us in. There we go. Yeah,
They have a Reaper.
They have a Reaper? This is some good damage coming out of us at the moment. We have to be a bit careful. Let's drop down, pick up the health pack. Good.
They have
Stock checking was incorrect.
another one. Okay.
Oh, he just got me. It's fine.
We still have Vanilla available. Playing a little bit careful.
No healing.
Metra's managed to kill everyone somehow.
We have another shield.
We have another tick, it's fine.
Oh, nice.
And you should actually just be able to win this.
Free on spot. Ryan on spot.
Nice.
Get the Ryan. Ah, okay.
Okay, yeah, fall back.
Yep, now you're done.
Okay. I have Barrage again.
Yeah, they will have another shield gen probably.
I'm pretty confident the McCree didn't build that up. I'm pretty confident
They put it.
I didn't. I'm pretty confident we didn't hear the Deadeye go off in the previous fight. So sometimes stock checking goes wrong. It's a shame when it does, because it can cost you fights. Looks like they fucked up on the shield gen. That's still really nice. Let's listen in, see what the plan is for the next attack.
No, he gets Mercy.
Okay, we're here, I think.
Yeah, go for it. Still, I have chance. I will. Symmetra's on me.
Good punish.
High ground. In the pit.
Fine with us playing this a little bit carefully. Your team's winning the fight on the point, so the McCree can't stay high ground. So if we just come in from the side here, we can probably get a good ult off.
Go for it, everyone. Get Mercy. Get Mercy.
Just draw the barrage. Good.
Nice.
Keep it. Good job.
Nice.
That's it.
Stuff. There we go.
1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt regarding King of the Hill. And so now we're going to go on the defense, and now we're starting coaching the mini proper, because now we're going to get the Zarya play.
I like the defense, yeah.
Just putting this in.
How does the shield gen go down so fast? It was placed badly. Like, it was placed where Genji could get line of sight on it. Metra tried to place it during combat, and it probably just had like a fin of some, like one of the legs poking out.
I don't play Genji.
I know.
Soldier seems good though.
Soldier seems like a good idea, yeah.
Team debating what they should pick. Soldier is good.
I mean, I can play anything as well, but
Just pick your things. I'm gonna fill.
Yeah.
Just pick. I'm going to fill.
stay as long as you have picked, like.
Honestly, Torbjorn, first point isn't that bad.
Okay.
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 So, now we're in on the Zarya.
Wanna play, May, I can still go Zarya.
Let's talk about why Zarya is a good pick, and then let's talk about why Zarya is getting picked less. And it's not what you would expect, which is that Zarya is something like a bad pick, or Zarya is somehow bad at what she does. Zarya is still very effective and very, very strong. The issue with Zarya is that she's sluggish for what the pros want and what high-level players are looking for at the moment, where compared to the speed that the rest of the game moves at, Zarya does not build up fast enough, and she requires too much momentum. It's too easy to sort of just undercut the momentum, lose all tempo, and then lose pace as Zarya, basically. So it's also due to the rise of Tracer, because Tracer could just shit all over Zarya. Which it sounds surprising, but a good Tracer can run rings around Zaryas and just cause a lot of problems. So it's sort of a group of factors where she's slow to build up, she can lose momentum, Tracer is good against her, and then she's just kind of outside of that in terms of like, well, it's just those factors really, I guess. She still can be very high damage output. She can still punish mistakes heavily. She can still save people from being punished as well, which is very important in sort of lower level play, and like even higher level play. What am I talking about? Like I see this all the time in Must as well, where you can sort of fix people's bad decisions and bad positioning by playing Zarya. Zarya is extremely strong if you need to win reliably, which is quite weak if you need to win quickly, basically. So, enemy team goes dive. Our first priority, like if you see something like this with a Winston jumping in, we should try and keep track of where the Winston's going to land because it's a source of easy charge for us, and there's a good chance, like if the enemy team was executing properly, this Winston would be backed up with something. Unfortunately, he's not backed up with something, so he's the saddest Winston in the world, and feels pretty bad for him. Because he just jumped in on his own. And the nice thing about Zarya is that we are basically incredible peel. So if they dive on Mercy, we just bubble Mercy. If they dive on Reinhardt, we can bubble Reinhardt, though probably better off bubbling the Mercy because they're going to try and kill the Mercy. We can just stop them doing anything. So just keep track of where that Winston's going to land and instantly punish it every time we try something. Winston's also a good choice for free charge for us, and very lovely tracking happening here. This is just punishing the McCree for being badly out of position. And it's a good job by our Mercy as well, just to keep us damage amped during that, so we get a free kill off the back of it. Barrier's down, we pull back, we are now safely on 80 charge, we can sort of do whatever we like. Now we want to move, if you remember from previous coaching the minis with Zarya, this is overextending a bit. Want to be a bit careful with doing this. Like, when I talk about Zarya, I talk about building, maintaining, and then using ultimate charges. So if we think about the start of the game, we're focused on building, we're trying to get as much charge as humanly possible. The Winston very kindly sort of just says, here you go. This is why if you're playing Winston in a dive comp, you want to be a little bit careful. Like, this Winston goes in way too early. Way too early. No one can get into position to do anything here. He just jumps in, lands in the entire enemy team. Zarya is scrambling, trying to run up and catch up, and during that time, she just gets massacred. The Winston does effectively nothing, and then even trying to sort of, if he tries to get any damage on the escape as well, then we can just barrier that. So I think the Zarya is actually the one that fed us, but we should have got more off the back of that Winston. So now we just wait for the next sort of charge opportunity. Winston wants to give us some, McCree wants to give us some. Now we have a Pharah, so we can play everyone's favourite game, Catch the Rocket, which feels good, man. Now we're on high charge. Now we mostly just want to be relying on personal shielding. The reason why I say this is overextending a touch is because it is. We're relatively safe because we know the McCree's dead, but this is like, if there's any, like, okay, let me put it this way. If the Zenyatta landed a couple of lucky headshots and you die here, which almost happens, it's bad for your team, and it's also really bad for you as well, just losing that charge. We're on maximum charge, and so now we can really just take liberties. Like, if I'm just poking out a little bit and sort of, you know, to about here, just poking out, doing a little bit of damage, bouncing back and forth, like, that's perfectly fine. But getting more and more further out, and especially getting round the corner, that's a little bit risky. That's getting into Danger Town, and we don't want to be in Danger Town. Danger Town's dangerous, unsurprisingly, so we don't want to be there.
Don't leave the door.
These are good calls coming out, by the way, of the position of where the Hanzo is, especially if this Zenyatta is badly out of position, we can punish that. Almost get the kill. What do I mean by he's out of position? There's no tanks protecting him, he's got his back against the wall, you're on 90 charge, you just have to hold your crosshair on him, and he will die. Unfortunately, he goes left for some reason as well, which confuses me as well, so don't feel too bad about it. Still. We can help peel for that. Winston now is doing absolutely nothing. As long as Clannock stays in the doorway, should be relatively okay. We should be turning and probably getting on the Mercy a little bit. Clannock can, like, there's no fear here for Clannock. He's got supports on him, there's an Ana healing him. He's fine. He's A-okay. He's A++. We got a barrier for him in 3 seconds should he really need it. What we can do is we can just isolate this Zarya by just stepping here and then turning and facing this way. And that will just isolate sort of the supports from doing anything. And I know that this sort of contrasts to what I was saying about D.Va yesterday, where in D.Va, like, and I understand that some people might go, wait, yesterday you said on D.Va you should isolate, or you should be looking to sort of not hunt down the supports and focus on the tanks, so why today, or focus on the DPS, so today why are you saying focus on the supports? The difference here is sort of twofold. Here, Clanok very clearly has this under control. Like, this situation is completely 100% fine. He's got 2 supports relatively nearby. There's an Ana healing him, and he's busy beating Zarya to death in a corner. Like, this is not a big problem for him. The issue that could occur is that if both their supports get on the Zarya, then the Zarya might be in a position where she can actually make something happen. But what we can do is we can very quickly and easily dissuade the 2 supports, maybe get a kill on the Zenyatta, because we're on 100 100 charge at the moment. It's very easy for us to get a kill on the supports as well, so we can go and deal with that. And sure, while sort of turning around and dealing with the Zarya is okay, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. We could have avoided... Actually, no, this is actually good for us, because he's just thrown that ultimate away. But we could have got a kill on the Mercy, for example. We could have got a kill somewhere else. Zenyatta throws away an important ultimate. We've been on 100 charge for ages, therefore we have Grav.
Oh shit, yeah, he got me with that too. Got the Mercy? Careful, 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 you're all dying. Who walked with that too?
Speaking of throwing...
Winston's left side on our NR.
So when I saw this, I just thought, oh, he's just going to kill the Hanzo. We know where the arrow's going. You can see where the arrow's going. Okay? We know exactly where it's headed. It's going this way. This is going to cut off your retreat. But we don't have to be scared. It's a Zenyatta and a Hanzo. We're on 100 charge. And we run back into the only thing that kills us there, the only choice where we die, is if we run into the Dragon Strike. That was unfortunate, is putting it lightly. You guys fucked up. Keep in mind that if a Hanzo's trying to cut off your retreat, sometimes the best way to handle that is to just keep fighting, and honestly I think with the Reinhardt there, you would have just won. It's like, it's Hanzo Zenyatta against Reinhardt Zarya, and Zarya's on 100% charge. Zarya wins that. I didn't see the Hanzo to my defense. I'm guessing you're the Mercy. Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, the Mercy dying there, okay. Whatever. It's the Reinhardt and Zarya I'm disappointed in. It happens, you dash to someone, there's a Dragon Strike, you die. Whatever. We're still in a relatively good position because we know that they don't have Transcendence, but we do have Graviton Surge. The danger here is that we know they also probably have Resurrect, so we want to be very aware of where Mercy's positioned, so it looks like she's in that corner. Oh, we use our res. We unfortunately get knocked off there, but Soldier can still get some kills. Pharah is still causing problems. This Pharah needs to be called out.
Hanzo's main. I'm 1, I'm dead. Good 2.
It's a fight. There is.
Switching main.
Surprising to me that no one called out the Pharah. Let's just optimize this slightly. I'm sorry to shit all over you, Vanillor, but... Like, first and foremost, when you guys needed to take stock after the first point was lost and just sort of try and realize, okay, what do they have available? Well, they're going to have Resurrect available because they haven't used it yet. They've used Transcendence, they're probably going to have Res available to them. So that's also going to have to prey heavily on your mind as the Zarya player. Do a good job just dying together, that's fine. Trade Barrage for Revive. Okay. Then the Visor comes out. Gets the Zenyatta, which is good, but to me, this should have been killed as well. Because this is where the taking stock can become really important. Because you should realize at this point that anything that dies in that Graviton Surge is probably going to get resurrected. Okay? So we start out with like a good kill on the Zenyatta, which from the sounds of it was like over here. I think this is Zenyatta's balls all over the floor at the moment. If you then kill a target over here, this Resurrect is so less effective. Like, she can't really get both, and if she tries to get both, she has to fly all the way out into the middle of the open. It also means she can't get the people in the Graviton. So I definitely think that this Pharah should have been called out, and this Pharah should have been prioritized, rather than something like the Winston. Just because if the Pharah and Zenyatta are dead, the chances of her getting this res off are just that much less likely. Now we are in storm mode.
Can't get out of here. Nope.
Wow.
Oh god damn it, dude.
We just got fucked.
I'll switch store. I'll switch store.
I can't get on.
Come on, May! No, it was a Winston.
Oh.
And they managed to get a very decisive win.
Fucking Hanzo.
All because of one
We
mistake.
didn't get 2 picks there with a random ult.
2 picks there with the random ult.
Unfortunate. We would have. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Being fair, it was a slightly random ult, but it was compounded by the bad decisions people made. Alright, we'll continue this in part 2 of Coaching the Many.
I think Zarya worked fine though.
See, that's an easy break for me. Okay, and so we're back on the Zarya. We're going to stick on the Zarya. This is where I'd say that Zarya can be quite weak. And this is actually where I don't like the Zarya pick. Because what we're looking at is we have 1 minute.
They might run Bastion or something here though. If they do
1 minute. 1 whole minute
Okay.
to try and get something done. Is Zarya going to build Graviton Surge in a minute? No. No. Zarya's ultimate takes a lot of work to build. Chances of building it in the first minute are incredibly low. At best, you use, like, if you get to 100 charge, you can generally get it in, like, 2 fights. That's with 100 charge. Without getting to 100 charge, it can take 3, 4, 5, forever. It can take a really long time to build up. Graviton Surge is one of those ultimates that
What percentage on the second point?
you usually only get, like, 2 or 3 of them. And that's when you have 4 minutes to play with, or, like, 8 minutes to play with. Like I'd say like 3 and 8 minutes sounds about right, and then that's why it's so important to sort of win off the back of them. That's why it's so important to treat them like fucking gold dust, because if you don't, they can just get wasted super easily.
Yeah.
So when you have 1 minute like this is where I would suggest do not pick Zarya. Like that is my out and out advice. Pick D.Va instead for an off tank. You'll just do it better. Maybe you can get away with picking Roadhog, but I would definitely avoid the Zarya on moments like this.
Right out Roadhog, Zen.
Their barrier's already down.
That is one.
Don't have a
Let's
shield.
have to be a little bit
Don't have a
careful.
shield now. Go.
Okay, now you can push in. The supports lead in the charge. What fucking bullets? Nice save. Good job. Good job on the Mercy. Good calling.
From that.
Nice.
Roadhog's coming right side.
Nice.
Hook is out.
Nice.
Don't worry, I'm Zarya.
I do want to highlight that the supports, like the tanks pussied out and the supports man the fuck up.
We should push.
That is one.
Don't have a shield.
Like this is your window to push. Like people have called that the barrier is down. There is a Winston bubble in the gate. Why are the tanks back?
Zen.
This infuriates me. Like when a Winston does something like this, where he'll put it in the choke. We know that they are on the ropes. They are pressured back, and then the tank pulls back. No, no. Why? What? No.
Okay, I have a shield now. You go.
Vanillor mans the fuck up, and then Miranda, of all people, is leading the charge, and Mercy follows up.
Nice.
Like, the Winston and Reaper should be leading the charge. Zarya following close behind because our bubbles were off cooldown. Ideally, we should have sort of won the Winston. Like, we should have just said, wait until my barriers are off cooldown, like, wait 3 seconds, and then we push. But because people weren't ready to wait for that, because we didn't announce that fast enough, we just pushed in regardless. Still managed to get a lot of work done.
Go Rhino over D.Va.
Good use of the barriers, good use of everything.
I don't.
You notice, even with all that victory, we're still only on 50%.
Yeah, after I die.
Maybe it's not gonna come
We have a whole extra 30 seconds to play with. Chances of us getting Graviton still pretty much 0 unless the fight on the point gets super long.
You can cancel your Guardian Angel, you know that, right? You don't have to fly past him.
Let's go in, let's go in.
Yeah.
I like the discussion of very basic mechanics here.
Reaper's behind us.
Soldier and Mercy as well. Heals.
Hello.
And on main.
Down. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's something kind of interesting that happened here that I'm going to highlight, which is the use of our projected barrier. So we're on about 40% charge. So honestly, we are looking to build charge still. Like, relatively speaking, we should be aware of the Roadhog and aware of countering the Roadhog, but we want to build charge. But we honestly, in my mind, time it as badly as humanly possible here. You either want to use the projected barrier on your push inward, so that's when the Roadhog is most likely to be spamming, when people are just like, when everyone's pushing through this choke point, the enemy team is going to be relatively free reign with their spams. Zenyatta's spamming, Roadhog spamming, Reinhardt spamming. This is when we want to use our projected barrier. 2 seconds, 1 second. We're pushing in, put the projected barrier on someone, get some charge. Okay? So that way we can have some high charge when we're on the point. Alternatively, if we're not going to do that, we're going to play more safe because, you know, we don't have a Reinhardt, we have a Diva. We don't have any barriers to stop people getting hooked, so we can play it safe. When you are at this point, when you're on the point itself, this is when the spams usually dive down. People have picked the targets they're going to be fighting against, and they're going to be playing in more of an intelligent way. Like, there's less of a scramble, the panic of the initial pushes died down, the enemy team's blitzing less. And so the chances of getting anything off the back of this is pretty much 0. All this is going to do is announce to the Roadhog, if he survives, that he can get the hook, and then he can get Diva out of mech, basically.
Hello. On main, up there. Down.
Yeah, I'm gonna rescue you soon.
So it's sort of like do one or the other. You either try and build charge on the way in, or you bide your time after you are in and wait for a good opportunity. Good job by the Reaper. Nice save. Pick up their Reaper. We're on 100 charge. We might be able to get Grav.
Oh, nice!
We're shooting out 1 million damage, but we're struggling.
I have
Three
grab
guys
soon,
on
I have grab
spawn,
soon.
the rest spawn camp. Nice. Nice, only Roadhog.
Grab it. Good.
And the rest, nice.
Holy shit.
Put a barrier on that. Yep.
Reaper no raid.
Watch out for Reaper. Nice.
Finish the Reaper off. Good.
Then one.
Good.
Ryan's coming out of pit.
He's low. Come on. Nice.
Nice job. I will comment on that grab in a second.
Mercy.
It's just a very minor optimization.
Which one?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome!
So let's talk about this Graviton.
Nice.
So when you're in a situation where you know you have Grav, but it's the end of the match, putting it on the point can actually be a bit of a deterrent, a bit of a poor decision. In this case, I would have put it about here. And it's like, it's not a big deal because the Reinhardt charges onto the point anyway, so I think that would kind of make it irrelevant no matter what. But it's worth mentioning sort of for future cases, because we don't want to just specifically coach this game, we want information that's useful for every game. So if you're in a situation like this, like we know well ahead of time, Graviton is what we are prioritizing. There's nothing here that can stop us getting away with it. The Roadhog's kind of an annoyance, but we can get to that with a good time. Just slowing down the Mercy is probably the biggest thing, because the Mercy is the most likely to just bounce around all over the place and, you know, slow your ability to kill stuff. So holding Mercy in place is a-okay. Roadhog's ulted, he's not going anywhere, he's not doing anything fancy anytime soon. Put Grav here, because what that means is anyone coming out here will get pulled in, and they'll get pulled onto the back, like onto this beam here. They won't get pulled onto the point. Where it ends up going is pretty much where that heal field is. And so now anyone that comes out of spawn will get pulled onto the point, which can drag the contest out a little bit longer. For example, if someone swapped to Mei, the last thing you want to do is pull them onto the point so that they can get some free time. It's a very minor thing, but it's still worth mentioning. The Reinhardt charges anyway, so he would have just gone right through regardless. And the Reaper comes out anyway, so not too relevant in this instance, but can be relevant in future instances where you've got to try and place it not only to catch as many people as possible, but also to try and deny their ability to get on the point. This is why sometimes you'll see Zaryas, sometimes actually, like, if you watched me yesterday, I think it was, like someone started raging at a Zarya because she fired off a Graviton Surge at the end of a round to try and stop people getting onto the point when there was just nobody there, and she tried to fire in the spawn, like towards their spawn, to try and catch people, and they just went the other pathway, and it almost didn't work. But I was there, and it wasn't yesterday, it was on last week Monday probably. I managed, because I was playing Reaper, I managed to catch the Lucio and kill him anyway. Just saving it until you see where people are going, where people are coming from, and then just putting it literally at the edge of the point, but make sure it's off it, so that they don't manage to get on it to contest that a little bit longer.
Ryan's coming out of pit.
He's low. Come on. Nice.
What the fuck?
And CT Lianen, I don't even know why I was telling me that. I think he was...
Oh my god!
people are very happy about what's happening here. So the reason why I think he was telling you that was because you went a bit crazy here. So the Pharah goes indoors, and you follow him all the way in. Or you follow him like all the way to the window, and you just put yourself in a really stupid position. When you're doing this kind of play, like this is, we're back to coaching Pharah again, or coaching Mercy, I guess. When the Pharah is doing this kind of play, if she goes in, that's on her. Like, it is not yet time to really be pushing in, so as Mercy, we want to be sort of bouncing around up here as much as possible, like anywhere out of line of sight, where we can support the Pharah, but we're out of line of sight for their team. So the Pharah is completely safe, we're completely safe. And so I think he was just confused why you did the full Guardian Angel all the way into the window, and then just put yourself in like a nice picture frame. And so that...
your Guardian Angel, you know that, right?
And so he, like, this is his passive, like, it's passive aggressive in a way of like, hey, the only reason you would position yourself that badly is because you don't know about this mechanic.
You don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, that was, oh man, that was crazy.
Managed to get the snowball, managed to get it working.
But I like D.Va on left. And once again, please press X if you need healing. If everyone just shouts, I need healing, this just doesn't work.
Doesn't help at all.
That is advice after my own fucking heart. If you're playing in a group and you're on voice comms, do not say, guys, heal me, like, heal me, what the fuck, heal me. Press the I need healing button. It gives you a visual indicator and a direction of where the person who needs healing is.
Okay, I think
It's kind of important.
Wanna have Zarya again?
yeah.
It worked pretty well.
Nice one, boys. Nice one.
Yeah, this time we're not gonna get hunted at the gate.
No.
When you have rest, just
I'd say watching this, by the way, like, you guys should win this. I'd say that you have the better team, it's just you guys fucked up so monumentally in like 2 different ways on the defense.
Then. That's my bad.
Like, it was such an easy win, and then...
We didn't expect the Hanzo to fire right into us, did we?
No, actually, I thought he would probably fire on point. That's why I thought I would fly into safety when flying to you there. Apparently, this was exactly the opposite.
That's full hold this now.
You got the Torbjorn, I'm actually okay with that. So building, 340 charge,
Punch him.
continue building, good job. Good job, we're on 80 charge already. Want to be a little bit careful.
Oh, I have Hanzo again shooting me.
I need heals, team. Directly behind you. Wait,
Press X, oh my god.
What did he just fucking say?
God, I didn't see where you are. I have Hanzo below. Oh, I have Hanzo again shooting me.
I need heals, team. Directly behind you. Wait,
Press X, oh my god, I didn't see where you are.
It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Do you have a Torbjorn coaching? I have a semi-Torbjorn coaching. It became Torbjorn, but it also became like dealing with raging teammates as well, I think, at the time. If you have Torbjorn footage, send it in.
Oh my god.
I don't have a pure, like, let's focus entirely on Torbjorn. The problem with Torbjorn primarily is good on defense anyway. This looks okay so far. We're not overextending. We're not doing anything out of the ordinary. We're doing our job. We've managed to build up a Graviton Surge in very, very quick time because the enemy team's feeding us like crazy.
I have rest.
It's actually very unlikely they have Grav soon just because their Zarya hasn't been doing much damage. She's been on relatively high charge, but she's mostly just been shooting into barriers. The Torbjorn could be feeding her a bit. We should be shooting the Lucio here. So this Lucio is super vulnerable. I know that we want to just sort of burn D.Va down as well, but because she's probably getting healed. If we were focusing on this Lucio, there's a good chance we kill him. Zenyatta picks him up anyway, but we should have been focusing on that. It's a small opportunity we could have missed. Enemy team cannot push now. Burn this D.Va around the mech and we have a huge opportunity. Good job. This is a very easy win for us. Barrage was not needed, I think.
Yeah, they all stayed back and line of sight with me.
Ooh, all this armor. Okay.
There was nothing there that warranted the barrage, to be honest. You got a Zarya, you got a Reinhardt, you got a Pharah. That's enough AoE damage just to clean it up. They have nothing to stop it. Small optimization. Bit of a nitpick, but hey. It is also worth mentioning that that was a slightly greedy ultimate. The reason why I'm fine with it is because it just does shut down any chance of your team fucking up again. If I had to say, like, let's purely like go 100% optimization.
Let's kill the other Zarya then.
The idea is that their team could not push at this point. So they're down a DPS, we're building up ult, D.Va goes in stupidly on the high ground, isolates herself, gets killed. So we're shooting, do. I went back too far, go figure. So the Lucio goes down. That instantly tells me that if they push now, if they try and do any kind of fight, they have a huge disadvantage, right? Because they're going to be moving in slowly, they're going to be healing less. They can't really take a fight with Lucio dead. We get the Zarya down to half. And then D.Va does something fucking insane, which is she throws away her life. They can't fight now. Like, so when we go like super optimization, you guys could clean this up without Grav. Or you guys could just keep fighting this and you'll probably still get 1 or 2 kills and then they still can't push in. And then they just have to take the time, regroup, and you'll have Grav available for the next time when all 6 of them should be pushing. What should have happened here on the enemy team is basically the enemy team should have realized that once Lucio went down, the chance of actually doing a push is so minimal that they should just be focused on stuff like, let's burn the Reinhardt barrier down as best as possible. Let's try and snipe the turret as best as possible. Let's just try and get these small advantages. Where when we do actually push, then we can actually just sort of all go in as a unit of 6. Because now what's going to happen is they're all going to come back together. We don't have Grav, we don't have Barrage. We do still have Molten Core, we do, this D.Va is an idiot. We don't have Barrage, we don't have Grav, we should have Molten Core, we should have Earth Shadow, we should have Res, we should have Nano Boost. Or Transcendence even. They had an Ana at the start, I think. Like, in character select, and that confused me. Brah! Excuses. As long as we just keep getting these picks, don't feed the D.Va. You want her to be in baby form for as long as possible. These supports are fucking crazy. I want to point out, like, this bad habit I'm seeing on the enemy team, where they just, like, randomly as fuck try and bounce across here. And it's like the Lucio death that landed them in this situation in the first place was purely because the support, for some reason, bounced all the way out here without any tanks covering him, without the D.Va covering him, tried to shoot into here, which is just shooting a Reinhardt barrier most of the time, and gets nothing done. Like, I'm gonna just back up because I want to watch this Ana do this, and like my question to you guys watching this is like, what is the Ana trying to achieve? What is the Ana ever going to do, trying to do something like this? 2 people are dead, so there's not going to be a push anytime soon. D.Va's not in mech. What is this achieving? She goes for a sleep dart. Even if the sleep dart hits, nothing can come of it. It's just like throwing away your life. If she wants to reposition onto this side, which is a-okay, there's other options for it. She can wait until her tank is back and actually cover her in doing so. Because right now, there's baby D.Va and Zarya is dead. There's nothing that can save her if your team just capitalize on that. Crossing across here without interference being run is just asking for shit like this, where they're almost dying pretty much immediately. They have to use sound barrier before they even push in. Beautiful Earth Shadow. No.
Nice,
holy shit.
What? Lucio, hi. Yep, now I can hear you. I wanted to stay safe.
That was a beautiful Earth Shadow. Very nicely done. The reason why we don't kill the Zarya here is pretty simple. So let's focus on that. They get low, they finally get like a bunch of people. Soldier dies, that's their sign to engage because they haven't had a proper push. They all push in, run into an Earth Shadow because they don't have a Reinhardt or a Winston, so nothing can block it. Actually, I suppose because it only hits these 2 targets. But even then, I would just say, like, strip the D.Va of the mech first, then worry about the Zarya. The reason why we don't worry about the Zarya is because while she's down, she's bleeding charge, and she's not doing any effective damage. We're also waiting for the sound barrier to bleed off, while meanwhile, like, if we just look as they're coming in, this has already lost its sound barrier, and then when we look over here, we can see that this still has like 100 more barrier on it, which is effectively 200 barrier because of how Ana works. Well, 150, I guess. Am I right in 50% damage taken? Yeah, so it's about 200 barrier. So like getting rid of all this is going to take fucking forever. Getting rid of this is going to take no time at all. So I just get rid of that, and then like what's a nano boosted Zarya that is going to have like 2 seconds of nano boost? Like she stands up and it's pretty much already gone. Not going to do anything. The charge is beautiful, traps everyone in the corner. Reinhardt almost dies to a random ass Hanzo ult. Molten Core cleans up. Feels good, man. Hello, Kredios. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you back. Don't do maths on stream? Yeah, no, it's never do maths on stream.
Just be a bit more defensive. I didn't know it was that low. The Hanzo headshot me.
Worth mentioning that this is just... This is greedy.
Okay.
Especially...
Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, I can come.
If you want to, like, if we want to... This is actually honestly good for us. Like, I want to highlight this, that we actually have an advantage here. He gets slept. We have a barrier. So we can just stand on him with our projected barrier. If Hanzo goes for anything, okay, we absorb it, and then we can just put the projected barrier on top of Vanillor, and we'll be fine. Have you ever done a video on rating players and toxicity in general? I've done a couple, actually. Those accents? They are all German.
I mean, they didn't have a Reinhardt.
But to me, these are all German accents. It's all very slightly stilted in how they talk. It's also a very hard form of English. They speak in a very hard way with a lot of emphasis on syllables. It's actually quite clear the way they speak.
Windows in the window?
Yeah.
German 6-stack all speaking English. Thank God you're speaking English.
Get deep out of mech, yeah.
Well, I can't imagine it in German. Achtung! The Reinhardt! The Reinhardt! That's the extent of my German.
Right. Come to me, just come to me.
Yep, just... You guys are perfectly fine.
Lucio is dead.
You could grab here if you so feel like it.
Oh fuck, I'm dead.
No, Ryan got me.
Can only respond. Widow's on me, I'm just gonna rescue.
So, there's actually a huge... Like, because Res is up and because the Mercy's alive, we had a huge opportunity here. So they've res, they pick everyone up. The second you see that this happens, if you put the grav here, for example, you can probably pick up the Diva, you'll pick up the Soldier. And that's 2 big targets. You'll probably pick up the Mercy as well, depending on where she is. Yeah, the Mercy flies into it, so the Mercy will also fly into it. You also stop the push in the tracks. Like, they cannot push in while the grav is here. And this is like this is a difficult opportunity to sort of seize and can backfire. But I would be relatively confident in doing this. I think the Diva really fucked up monumentally. Because they have so little tank while this is happening, the Diva will die in the grab because you just back up and right click. That she's not going to get back into her mech. Like, if you just grabbed the second that went off and just pinned her to the wall, she can't get back into the mech if you back up and right click on her twice. She's dead, no more mech, everything else is 200 hit points, everything else will just die.
In the window?
Widow dead?
Nice, okay. So
The Reinhardt is still right inside.
But honestly, sort of, we're giving this Diva way too much respect. Way too much respect.
I'm going for Zubi, Reinhardt is still right.
Widow's in the window?
Like, I want to again highlight how little damage we're taking from the Diva, so let's get to here, speed. Watch the health next to my head. Watch this. So on 300, we're taking damage from the Diva. Dropping down about 10 every single tick. 10, 10, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Like, and I'm aware that this is at 2.5 speed, but the speed that she kills us, we're on 90 charge. The speed that we kill her is probably about half a second. The speed that she kills us is probably about 4 seconds. We win that fight. This is like a game knowledge and confidence thing, but there's also a Mercy just stood next to us. And we're in a relatively safe location as... Oh wait, that's their Mercy. Why is their Mercy there? Got confused, clearly. We still win that fight against the Diva, I think. We actually don't need to worry about taking the health back, by the way. If you just hide back here, let the shield regenerate, you'll probably heal about the same speed. Let's go get this Mercy.
Yeah, Reinhardt.
Oh god, I was about to shout at you for not turning around and killing the Mercy.
Something on point.
Yeah, Reinhardt. I'm on him.
I'm just gonna watch this a couple more times because it's satisfying as hell.
Something on point.
Yeah, Reinhardt. I'm on him.
Oh! And again, once more we're feeling.
Yeah, Reinhardt. I'm on him.
God! Yes! Yes!
Reinhardt,
Oh.
on spot.
You can take your time with this.
Hold
He's
the
gonna
door.
Earth Shatter, by the way, yeah.
He completely wasted Shatter. Yeah.
Okay, wait for them to engage. What the heck?
This is a gamble from the Reinhardt.
Reinhardt alone on spot.
Be very careful when dealing with cornered Reinhardts like this.
The door!
If everyone gets caught in this, there's actually a chance that you can just kill everyone.
Okay, wait for them to engage. I'm gonna grab.
If everyone just ends up in a nice pile for him, he can kill everyone. So do be a little bit careful. Luckily, we have a Pharah in the sky and Mercy was off to the side, so we should be okay.
Diva top window.
Alright, alright.
Diva's behind it.
Get that diva! Get the diva! Get the diva! Get the diva! No! 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 Oh, Jesus!
All in there.
Jesus!
Yeah, nice sound there, Red.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
The fact that they died to that is ridiculous. Oh god. Oh god, that was catastrophically bad from both teams. Congratulations. You're both awful. You should have spotted this out fucking instantly. We have a very simple victory condition. If we can grab where there's no diva, we win. Diva's just sacrifices. Like this is free. This is free. This is the freest fucking diva in the world. She's used her rockets to get up here. She has no escape. She's here for at least 5 more seconds.
Top window.
Alright, alright.
You've got a Reinhardt here. She literally crosses it in front and we gets Discord orbed. We don't shoot at her. Fuck! Come on! This could have gone so badly if their diva was paying any moderate kind of attention. Samurai comes out, the diva, luckily, I guess, blew all of her defense matrix, so didn't manage to catch any of the fucking barrage.
All in there, all in there.
Literally all the barrage goes through,
Yeah.
until now.
Sound there, Red.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
No, Klana.
And then, okay. And then, yeah, you guys win, because
GG easy.
The game.
Go.
their diva
57
is terrible.
Boys. Come in. To engage,
Like-
I'm gonna grab.
Yeah, if they engage, I'm going to grab. So we know our victory condition. Like, we know the victory condition. We know the victory condition.
Do you have armor for me?
The victory condition is simple. We use the grab, and then we literally turn and see the diva. We turn and see the diva. Just kill the Batman. Like,
Alright, alright.
just shoot her. Like, let's talk about what could possibly go wrong at this moment. What is the worst thing that could happen? Diva Defense Matrix Graviton. Can we stop this from happening? Yes. We just get rid of the Diva Mac.
Come in. Come in.
It's not the fact that, like, we go for this. Like, she's used all the Defense Matrix up fine. It's the fact that we don't even try for the Diva. We don't do anything about the Diva.
All in there.
It's
Yeah, nice sound there, Red.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
give a damn.
catastrophic to me that we don't even try or attempt to do anything about the Diva.
Down here.
A Diva that flies into the team and lives is out of Matrix.
Alright, alright.
Not necessarily. Like, if we watch, like, from what we can see,
There's some ammo down here.
and remember, she only needs a split second to catch the grab. So she comes in, she puts on the Matrix, and now she's running away and then facing most of the enemy team. She faces the Pharah. She could drop. She could still have half a Matrix. She could still have a shitload of it. And then once the grab lands, if she still has half and she just blocks the barrage with sound barrier, their team can live. Reinhardt could charge, get on the point. They can reverse this.
Yeah, nice sound there, Red.
It's so to me, it's the
I don't give a damn.
it's the lack of response to the Diva, because, like, just take it away from this game. Take it away from this game. Like, not, you know, and when I say that, I mean, like, imagine this is a different game with a better Diva on the enemy team. The D.Va gets out of position. Our victory condition is fire, Graviton Surge, and get as many of their team in the grav as possible. Their D.Va is literally so far out of position that she's in fucking Albuquerque. Like, there's no issue just killing this bitch. Kill her. Punish this. Because it sets your victory condition from, like, 90% to 100%. It's baffling to me.
All in there, all in there.
That we didn't even pay the D.Va a smote of attention. The Zenyatta did absolutely the right thing. Discord Orb should have gone on that D.Va instantly. Blow that D.Va away, you have the easiest, freest win in the world. Don't blow the D.Va up. If the D.Va is competent, there's a chance that she can block a lot of the damage. The sound barrier could keep people alive through it. They could get a bounce back somehow. They could get a attack visor out. Something could happen. Something could go wrong. It's a very easy way to throw. So that's why I'm angry. It's like the specifics, sure, it works out where she dropped defense matrix for a second or two, so like the second she drops defense matrix, you have a window. There's still a chance that she has defense matrix available to block some of the damage coming in. There's still a chance that stuff can go wrong, and it's just a lack of response to the most crucial aspect where get rid of the D.Va should be priority 1. The D.Va offers herself up on a silver platter and no one takes it. Like, the complete lack of response from the D.Va.
Wow, what was that shot, Van? Reported. Van.
A lot of high energy kills, we've got a lot of energy, we did get quite a lot of good stuff out of Zarya. I'd just say, like, that last kill definitely showed some tunneling, or just some... yeah, just, like, I'll call that tunneling, where we're just so focused on getting the grav, it's like we missed the forest for the trees. Where we should we understand that the objective is to get the grav out, but we don't understand that securing the grav is just as important. And having that 100% chance is really vital, and not even paying lip service to try and get that, to me just screams like, okay, we're missing something fundamental here, where as Zarya, if you have Graviton available, D.Va is your #1 priority. Get rid of D.Va, win game. And go from there, basically. Otherwise, right, yeah, we'll start taking questions in a second. I'm going to load up Overwatch, and I'll see you in part number 3. So you can start asking questions, and we can go with that. There we go, guys.